Hey guys, welcome back. So in this video, we will start creating a React Native project. This is the React Native website. Let's get started. Okay, so there are two ways you can install a React Native application. One is using Expo and the other is using React Native CLI. We will be using React Native CLI. For that, you will need to install Homebrew. Homebrew is basically a package manager that you will need to install all the dependencies. You can use this command and insert it in your terminal, and this will install the Homebrew for you. After that, you need to install Node and Watchman, and this will also install Ruby for you. You can use this command to check if the Ruby is installed. After that, you need to install Xcode, and then you are done. Then you need to insert this command. This will remove the React Native CLI packages, and once that's done, then you need to init this command. This will create the React Native project. So let me move to the project folder. So our project name is Expensify. This will download all the dependencies that we will need to create our project. So this will start shortly. This basically depends on your internet speed. So I will pause the video for now and we'll start again once this is done. Okay, so the process is completed. As you can see, the template is downloaded, and these are some of the instructions to run the app on Android or iOS. I've already opened the project. Here it is, and this is the boilerplate code. This is app.js.tsx. This is the default component for app.js. We will get rid of this code shortly. First of all, let me try to run this application. Let's see what it looks like. npm run iOS. This will run the application on iOS. Okay, so the application is building on the app. You also need to install the Xcode from App Store. This will install these emulators on your machine. So app is installing. Just wait a second. Okay, so the application is open and it's working perfectly. So this is the default component, and basically this default component is in TypeScript code. We need to change this to JavaScript. So I will remove this TSX and change it to JS like that. And we also need to remove this dummy code. We don't really need that. I'll remove this as well. And change this. We don't need this. Okay, so everything is moved. Let's just create a simple view. This view should be imported from React Native, and let's say hello world. Text should be, okay, we have displayed the hello world successfully, and it is on the top of the notch. So we have to push it a little down because the container is occupying the whole notch area as well. That's why it is showing on the top. So for the styles, we will use Tailwind CSS. So let's include the Tailwind CSS. This is the main website for the native wind. This package will be used for the using Tailwind classes into our React Native project. This is just a demo code that they have embedded in their website. So let's start the process. React Native CLI. We will need to install Native Wind and Tailwind CSS packages. So let's add them. Tailwind and Tailwind CSS as well. Once that's installed, let's add the configuration files. Um, you can use this command to create the configuration file. Yeah, this is the command. Copy it just and paste it. Okay, it has created the configuration file. We will be changing this in a bit. I think we need, um, yeah, we need to change the content. Contents are basically the file paths or the directories that will use the Tailwind classes. So we will use a screens folder. Let me add that screens, and that's it. And we need to change the Babel configuration as well. We need to add the plugin. Oh, my bad. We need to add plugins like this. So that's it. I think the configuration is done. Now I need to test this. Okay, I think we can use the classes now. So let's add the background for this. Now we can use it like this. We need to specify the class names. BG red. Okay, the Tailwind configuration is successful and we can use the classes now. Like we can give a text of white, and yeah, it's working. So the Tailwind is installed and working perfectly. Now the next part is to create the navigation. So let me add a file. Let's add a folder, navigation, and a file with app navigation, because we will need it to navigate through all the pages. This is the main website for the React navigation. They have provided all the navigation components. So let's install them. Prerequisites, minimum. Okay, this is the installation process. Let's install this React navigation. Installing. Okay, after that, installing noise. And this is for the Expo managed projects, as we're using React Native CLI. So we'll be using this command to install React Native screens and safe area content. After that, then we need to run this command, but there is another way we can do it. Just cd to iOS folder, then run this command pod install. This works the same. So generating the pod project. Okay, so this is done, and this is for the iOS. Sorry, Android. We don't really need that. Okay, so this is the process of creating navigation. Let's just copy paste it. Navigation container. Just copy the whole component like this. Navigation, and here we will add our routes, our stack. Oh, and I think we need to add this library as well. So let's just copy paste it. Oh, sorry, not here. We need to cd back to the main folder here. Okay, after that, I think it's done. So this is the dummy code for creating the first route. So let's just copy paste create React Native stack, and we need to create the stack. Let's copy this, and this is a navigation container. Okay, so what they are doing is basically defining a home component and giving it a name home. So we haven't really added any component. So first we need to add some screens. Let's just create the home screen. We need to add a folder screens and a component home screen. We can use a shortcut or an F to create a React Native functional component, but you will need to install React Native snippets for that. This is a very useful extension. So we need to import the home screen component as well. So if I just type it, this will auto import. Oh, this should work. Oh yeah, we need to add this to app.js as well. Just remove it and add app navigation like this. Okay, so this should work now. It will should show the home component. But why is this throwing this error? On the screen stack header configuration. Not sure why is this coming. I think maybe we missed something. Navigation, configure navigator. Maybe we just need to reload the application. Press R. Still the same. Or maybe we need to provide the initial route. Where is it? Mm, yeah, here. So if we add this, maybe this will work then. Yeah. So that's strange. I think we need to rebuild the application. Maybe that will resolve this issue. Okay, so app is building. Let's see if it solves the issue. Okay, so the problem was we had to rebuild the application. So whenever you install a dependency, I think you need to rebuild the application so that it don't cause any issue. So as you can see, we have a header at the top. So by default, React Router adds a header on all of the screens, but we can provide some options to hide this. So we have property options, and in this we can pass header shown to false. This will remove this header. Okay, so that has removed the header. So you can't see the home screen because it's on the very top of the screen. So if I provide a class name of margin top, this will push it a little down. 10. Yeah, this looks fine. We won't be using headers on any of the pages because we will be styling from using Tailwind CSS. So let's add another page. Let's add login screen. Let's see if the router is working. Okay, we have created a login screen and we just need to copy paste this and change the names. login screen. So when I change the initial route to login from home, this will change the screen, but it didn't. Well, I think we need to reload the application because we haven't reloaded the application and the initial route shows when we reload the application. So after the reload, as you can see, the login screen is showing by default, but we need to add a margin top to push it a little down. So like this. So we can't add margin top on all the components because this is not a good practice. So what we have to do is create a screen wrapper component that will wrap all the components and push them a little down so that notch area won't conflict with the content. So let's create a component screen wrapper components screen wrapper. Okay, so whenever we wrap a component, it will receive a children property. So children will represent basically all the children components that's within this component. So if we write a children, this will render all the children components here. So this will act as a parent component to all of those components. We can use a React Native property status bar status bar dot current height. This is basically provided by React Native, and status bar dot current height will give us a height of this area, this notch area. So we can use this to add a padding top, and this will fix the issue. Okay, so this is done, and let's just change this to screen wrapper, just like this. And this, when I save this, this should go down. Okay, so there is another way we can do this. Sometimes the current height of the bar is undefined, so we can make a condition where we check this. If it's undefined, then we just give it a fixed padding of 30 pixels. I think it's better we use the platform property of React Native. Because with this you can check if the OS is iOS, then you can give the padding, and if it's Android we can skip it because Android phones don't have notch, so that won't make an issue. So I think we can add the condition here, platform.os equals iOS. So it will check if the status bar is undefined, then it will check the platform OS, and then it will give the padding accordingly. So that's done and it's working fine. So the next thing is, I think we are all done. Let me just make some folders for our configurations. We need an assets folder to hold our images, and we will need a Redux folder to store the Redux data, and we will need a constants folder to store the dummy values, and what else we need? We need a theme folder to hold all the colors and theme settings, and lastly we need a config folder. This will hold the Firebase configurations or all the other configurations. So this is it for this video. In the next video we will start designing the home page. Sorry, this is theme, not themes. Okay, so see you in the next video.